For instance, staff budget, money for training, money for clinic, money for sports, money for books, money, they collapse it. It is in the National Assembly I say hearing about collapse. What is collapse? Sir, both of you know what collapse is. Collapse. The money, now, allowances that are budgeted for National Assembly staff is collapsed. So, apart from what the Constitution says, themselves, who is looking at the one they are collapsing and chopping? They chop their own, they chop our own.
So despite the humongous allowances and perks of a lawmaker in Nigeria, Senator Godswill Akpabio said this during plenary last week.
But you made a profound statement that out there, Nigerians think that senators, a lot of money is spent on National Assembly, that once you step out of the National Assembly, you are looking for money to even treat yourself, which shows the fallacy of all the insinuations and innuendos thrown at the legislators. So I think it was an eye-opener for a lot of people. Because some people think that we come here to make money. They don't know that we come here to sacrifice for the growth of the nation so we can leave a better country for future generations. Thank you for that elucidation.
But in fairness to him, the Senate President did not start this conversation. It was in fact Senator Inyinaya Abaribe who did when he was eulogizing one of their late colleagues who passed away recently.
So he has always been a very great friend. I was very, I would say, sad when he approached me and said he was actually very sick and he was seeking for contributions from us. And we had to make personal contributions to him. Of course, that is one of the things that most people in Nigeria don't know about the life of a member of the legislature. There's an assumption that too much money is spent here or there on behalf of people. But of course, whatever you see, the day you walk out of this chamber is the day that this chamber also does not extend any benefits to you. Caleb fell into that category, and I'm very, very sorry that eventually that sickness cost him his life.
But someone you could describe as an insider in the National Assembly and a director at the House of Representatives and former clerk of the House Committee on Local Content, while speaking during a retreat organized by the National Assembly for Legislative and Democratic Studies for directors and committee clerks, said things that might eventually cost her a job and even more. Watch.
I am mad because we talk, we don't do. I am mad because nobody listens. Our legislators are not here. We are talking to ourselves. Now we don't have the power to do nothing of all the things we talk about. We are talking about oversight. How do you account for the fact that the flight ticket to go and oversight somebody was paid for that person by the agency? What are you coming to write? You go there, they tell you what to write, they give you money, they quarter you, they give you flights, and the members will come and fight over the money that they gave to them. They will not give the clerk. They will not give the committee assistants that they take with. But it's not even the fact that they didn't give the clerk. Now you are compelled to write a report of what you did not see, what did not happen, and you lie. Me as a Catholic, I will just go for confession first. Then secondly, financing a public hearing. We did a public hearing last year. And then the committee called me to tell me that a consultant was employed to write a report. And then I asked the consultant, were you at the public hearing? He said, no. So what do you want to write? Ifoma, we give you material to write the report. I said, no, it's not going to happen. I will not work with you. I put my feet down and I told him I'm not going to work with you. And I sat down because they are looking at us as if we do not have capacity. Me, I'm just 2 steps out of National Assembly for retirement. So right now, my mother says she's not dancing so that people will give her money. It's so that they will see me. So I will say what I want to say. I sat down and I did a proper report of that public hearing, and I took it to the chairman. I said, this is the report. And they were looking at me like, you mean it? I said, yes. Oh, no, you have to change it. I said, no, this is what happened. If you want to change it, you now go ahead and change it. But the original report is in my system. I don't use secretaries. I type my report myself. So if they want to change it, they should go ahead and change it. I am waiting. Then we are talking about punishing MDAs. They will come on TV and they will say, this erring MDA did this. All the atrocities that have been committed in the National Assembly, who punished them? We don't follow the budget process the way it is. They will budget money for instance, staff budget, money for training, money for clinic, money for sports, money for books, money. They collapse it. It is in the National Assembly I say hearing about collapse. What is collapse? Sir, both of you know what collapse is. Collapse. The money, now, allowances that are budgeted for National Assembly staff is collapsed. So, we as citizens, because we are still citizens, first, before we became National Assembly staff, and then you have no power to even go and hold a press conference because we are sworn to oath of silence. So I can't even tell the world how I feel. Allowances that we are constitutionally, even, I put it in the Constitution this time, statutory allocation to the National Assembly staff, they collapsed it till now. Some people have retired. It takes over a year, 2 years for them to pay the National Assembly staff their retirement benefit before you start talking of pension. Go and see them. They look like scarecrows. Our former colleagues call us, direct us to beg for money for fuel. They are coming to the National Assembly. You see them standing at the junction into the National Assembly. They can't afford to fuel their cars. So apart from what the Constitution says, themselves, who is looking at the one they are collapsing and chopping? They chop their own, they chop our own. Then they will put excesses there. So please.
Thank you very much, Madam Ifeoma, for that beautiful song.
Quite honestly, not much of what she said there surprised me. And if anything surprised me, it was the fact that they didn't ask her to turn off her mic. And like I said earlier, why should any one of us be surprised? Or wasn't it before our very eyes that many of their corrupt practices have been consciously and unconsciously exposed in public? But this woman, quite honestly, I will not be surprised if she walked back everything she said here in the coming days and weeks.